Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here. Little Joan, you're so nuts, Little Joan. Why don't you want to just sit for the videos anymore? You're so squirmy these days. So squirmy. We sit in your bed? Sit in your bed? There you go. No, you don't want to sit in the bed. Okay. I'm just going to put her on the ground. Little Joan. Anyhow, let's do a wrap up of the news as it stands. Be the final video of the day. Oh, I keep forgetting to mention I have a BitChute Rumble exclusive today. All the forbidden news is in another video on BitChute and Rumble right now. There will be a link in the description. I swear to you. So go check that out. But we'll talk about all the other news that YouTube allows me to talk about. Just checking some of the headlines at Just the News. Amidst Boy Scout bankruptcy, full extent of sexual abuse scandal comes to light. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, I was a Boy Scout. Nothing ever happened. But, yeah, that's just sad. It's just sad to see an organization like that. You know, Biden tax hike could open the door for a key GOP attack in 2020 election. I mean, really? You're going to have to play the tax card? I mean, have you been paying attention for the last 2 months? I think there's plenty to talk about. Like him falling down the stairs. Like him, and the election was the most secure in history. Honk, honk, wink, wink. He's the most popular president ever. But there's no arguing that he shouldn't be president. He shouldn't be. Psaki calls the situation at the southern border a crisis, then retracts statement after reporter calls her out. This is all from the Post-Millennial. Good site. Good site. And there's a video on Rumble by Dinesh D'Souza, I think is how you pronounce his name. It's Trump mocking Biden falling down the stairs. All right. Let's get into it. Biden to spend $86 million on hotel rooms for border crossers. Doesn't that sound like a great plan? Oh, we can't fit them on all the facilities? Oh, let's buy them hotel rooms. I'm sure they'll only be there for a few days. Duh. What's the plan, Biden? Are you going to hold us economically hostage until we say, okay, Jesus, just let them in the country? Is that the plan? To make it so economically unfeasible to keep them in a facility that you're going to put them up in hotels? How many hotel rooms can you possibly find near the border at this point? The estimates are like something like 100,000, 200,000 people coming across the border in a month? In a month? Is there that many hotel rooms in Texas? I don't even know. I guess there probably would be, but other people got to be at the hotel too. You can't just have people living in hotels. It's not right. There was nothing wrong with Trump's border policy. He had it under control. Why would you unravel that? You could have just lied about it and said, oh, well, now things are better, and just kept everything the same, mostly. You're fools. You're absolute fools to spend this kind of money. But it doesn't surprise me. This is what Democrats do. They just spend. Oh, we got plenty of money. Black women passed over for state and local jobs at higher rates. Well, not New Jersey. I mean, have you ever been to a DMV or anything? I mean, I don't think that's accurate. It's probably just a stat. It's definitely not accurate in New Jersey. But again, it's a more woke nonsense. Everybody's counting up the races and the genders. Oh, we gotta have equity. It's not gonna work. Just hire qualified people and don't worry about their race or gender. What you need to do is get rid of nepotism. That's the hard thing to get rid of. Who do you hire? People hire people. Let me tell you how people get hired. Okay? This is more directed at the young people. Most of you older people know this. When you hire somebody, you know who you're really auditioning for? Yeah, you've got like 100 qualified applicants, but you're really looking for the one that you can have lunch with. The person that won't annoy you in the office, that you can work with. Your friend. You're essentially auditioning your buddy, your co-working buddy. That's who you're auditioning. Somebody comes in there, they're kind of cranky, or they've got some weird attribute you just don't like. You're not gonna hire them because I gotta deal with that at lunch. They don't want that. They want somebody that they can pal around with. That's how most people get jobs. I hate to tell you. Do they have to be qualified? Yes, there's always dozens of qualified applicants. Always. There are some unqualified ones that show up. You cut them out of the pile. The ones you actually audition and interview, you're just looking for one you can vibe with. Someone you could say, hey, how was your weekend? Oh, it was great. How was yours? I was pretty good. That's what people are looking for. So, I don't know what to tell you. Be friendly and you'll get a job. Be friendly and qualified. It's the only qualifications you need. Breaking. It was breaking yesterday, actually. SWAT team moves in as spring breakers commit violence, destroy restaurants. City of Miami Beach declares state of emergency. How can a city declare a state of emergency? It seems weird. I guess it's state in the other sense. Anyhow, nice going, dummies. You finally get outside, and this is how you act? Not good. Not good. But still not for the lockdowns. Perhaps if no place was locked down, they wouldn't all be jammed in Florida. Ever think of that? Vaccine nationalism? We can be accused of vaccine internationalism. EU commissioner says amid row over deliveries. Top EU officials said that everything is on the table as Brussels examines vaccine production and distribution. The EU, talk about a cluster F. I mean, these guys are having all sorts of problems. Man, everybody in the UK, boy, did you dodge a bullet on this one. Everybody in the UK, vaccinations are doing fine. Apparently, that's the one thing they're doing right, according to the guys on the Lotus Eaters. Vaccination there, going like clockwork. The EU's having all sorts of problems. Here's a weird article from American Greatness. Why Tulsi Gabbard is right for an America First GOP? I don't think so. I mean, for one thing, she hasn't outright supported, but she gave sort of tacit support to reparations and UBI. That cannot be a GOP position. It absolutely cannot. They're both idiotic concepts. And Tulsi is, her economic posturing, unless she, has a coming to Jesus moment and joins the GOP, which would be great, by the way. And, maybe she could change on a couple of these economic issues. I'm sure they'd welcome her with open arms. She'd be a great force. She would. But not under her current, A lot of people predict, and I agree with the sentiment, that really she should be the one to take over the Democrats once they finally implode. Once they finally implode and realize they've destroyed themselves, like someone like Tulsi could take them over and actually reinfuse them with credibility. And, looking down the road, could rebuild the brand. But the problem is, as you build that brand, as it gets more popular, that's when all the a-holes try to get in. You look at Ron Paul's campaign. To me, it was a perfect example. Ron Paul was doing well in the Republican primary, wasn't going to win, but had a shot at least a contested election if the GOP followed its own rules against Mitt Romney. And he just seemed burdened with a lot of people who were just, total partisan hacks, total careerists. They were the ones saying to Ron, oh, no, cut a deal. You're not going to win, but cut a deal and we'll all get, And he didn't. And I think they all abandoned him because of that. Or a lot of them did. Not all of them. From Fox News' Piro, Biden administration knowingly and intentionally and with due deliberation surrendered our southern border. It's pretty true. Yeah, they're just opening the thing up. And It's a dumb move. Dumb move. Just because you control the border doesn't mean you can't let people in when you're ready, when you can test them for beer virus. It's the amazing thing. Biden's going to let these people in. Now he's going to buy them hotel rooms. The places are going to be rife with beer virus. Then what are you going to do? Then the workers get it, and it spreads and spreads and spreads. You can't operate like this. This should have been a problem south of the border, not a problem for us. You've just taken on other people's problems to get more votes, which isn't going to work. You're letting in future Republicans. Immigrants aren't stupid. People across the U.S. protest anti-Asian hate following deadly spa shootings. Yeah, it's like, of course, I'm very much against deadly shootings of all kinds. And anti-Asian hate is bad. But these people they're just lemmings when it comes to protest. Oh, someone in the news said something. Let's go protest it. These people aren't, they're caught up in it. They're caught up. They're caught up in every protest. They ran out of BLM protest, I guess, and they jumped onto this bandwagon. I wish these people would stop virtue signaling. They disgust me. Thank God these people weren't a factor during the anti-war marches. And you know why? You know why they weren't a factor in the Bush marches during the Bush years? It's because they were all on the other side of the fence screaming, "You're un-American," because that is what was popular at the time. We were attacked. Oh, now these people are out, there's no room for hate. It's trend. These people are all trenders. They're protest trenders. Corrupt GA Secretary of State goes after attorney Lynn Wood for something fraud. Doesn't investigate obvious something fraud, which I should have read this in my Forbidden News segment, but it's on Gab. So it's from CD Media, so check that out. BBC says COVID mask and social distancing could last years. FU. We're heading towards 200,000 illegal border crossers per month. Jesse Waters on Fox News. That's where I heard the stat. Is that true? I'm sure it's up there. I would guess it's over 100,000. I forget what the stats were. It was something like 5,000 a day at one point. China is the greatest existential threat to the U.S. Biden's actions with Russia were childish. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Yeah, Pompeo seems to be like a reformed neocon. At the very least, he's sort of a tolerable neocon. Seems to know who the enemy is at this point. I'd like to credit Trump with a little bit of that influence, but we'll see. We'll see. It may just be that he's just on board the Trump train because he sees the way the GOP's going. Here's a ridiculous statement. DHS Chief Mayorkas, border crisis underway because Trump, quote, dismantled entire immigration system. Does anybody anywhere believe that statement? I mean, come on. He dismantled it. He's the only one that's ever propped it up. He made it work. Dismantled the entire immigration system. No, that's what Biden's doing. It's insane. Let's see. More stuff about the spa shootings, of course. These people, they don't care about anything until it's on the news and people at CNN said, "Oh, you better protest." Here's Kamala Harris. An apparent swipe at Trump says people with the biggest pulpus spewed hate towards Asian Americans. It's absolute nonsense. It's the elites. Harvard University. Check out their, these woke idiots who say, "Oh, the Asians have whiteness too." That's hate. CNN's Cuomo's primetime sees sharp decline in viewers. Well, no S. Goodbye, Cuomo. Can't wait till they fire you. Now, here's one. I should have read this one. New curriculum mandates teaching atheism in public schools. Seems weird. It seems. Oh, this is in Wales. New curriculum for teaching religion in Wales mandates that atheism be given equal footing with Christianity and any other faith. Might even be emphasized more, according to WND. And this is why we don't have we have the separation of church and state in the United States. I mean, you don't want them teaching any religion or atheism or anything. Just let people make up their own damn minds. What do you got to teach? I mean, I think you could teach about it. You could teach the history, but, these discussions, well, maybe you should have discussions. I don't know. But the idea that you can teach one over the other is just dumb. More stuff on the vaccine. Oh, remember Raphael Warnock? He caught him maskless. He's the new one of the new Georgia senators. Got him without his mask, just like John Kerry. Oh, and here's Fauci, Mr. Mask himself. Fully vaccinated people don't need to be tested unless they have symptoms. Okay. Yeah, like we couldn't figure that out. Like we needed a doctor degree in that. Mainstream media blame Trump for anti-Asian spike, according to Laura Ingraham. Yeah, they do. It's totally stupid. Jen Psaki in 2020. Gun registration is a way to get mothers to vote, I guess. Not sure why mothers would need to weigh in on that necessarily, but I guess you could scare them. Biden criticized for inhumane conditions in migrant children detention facilities. I guess that's why he's considered buying everybody hotel rooms. And I think we're just about done here. That seems to be the news. Oh, there was a meteor over southwest England that caused a sonic boom. That's kind of cool. Also, speaking of cool, scientists discovered Antarctic marine life trapped under the ice for a half century. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's also on Gab. It's on Fox News. There's a picture of some of it. And it's kind of cool. I mean, it's only 50 years. That's not a big term, in terms of time for animals. Let's end on this. Zero Hedge, visualizing the world's deadliest pandemic by population impact. Oh, it's a video. Dang it, I thought it would be a picture. Well, let's see. Black Death, death toll by population, 51%. Plague of Justinian, 19%. Smallpox, 12%. Antonine Plague, don't know what that is, 2.6%. Spanish flu, 2.5%. Third plague, 1%. HIV/AIDS, 0.7%. Beer virus, as of March 15th, 0.03%. Wah, wah. Yeah, that's it's pretty low. Pretty low. Oh, here it is again. World's deadliest pandemics. It's pretty dang low. 0.03% of the population. And the Black Death took out more than half. That's nuts. So, it kind of puts it in perspective. The beer virus is bad, but it could be a lot worse. And you notice Ebola's not even on the list, because Ebola usually just burns itself out before it kills too many people. So, yeah, that's it for the regular news stories. Check out my Forbidden News segment over at BitChute and Rumble, because that's where I can curse and talk about forbidden topics YouTube won't let me and the dog talk about. That's it for me. I got to edit book 6 of the Pineys, coming soon, coming in March. Just waiting on a couple things. It's all going to come together. See you tomorrow.